This might be the best vampire movie ever made. It also completely bombed. So what went wrong? Is it a good movie? No. Is it a great movie? Well, also no, but at the same time, very much yes. Vamps is, to me, another 2012 masterpiece. I swear, 2012 was just that year for Slightful Diva Media. It stars friend of the channel, Krysten Ritter, the icon that she is, and Alicia Silverstone, the undisputed queen of the 90s. In this movie, they are, as you might assume, vampires. Alicia plays Goody, a vampire since 1841. This movie, like all vampire movies, has its own special lore. Humans are turned into vampires by their stem. If the stem dies, all the vampires that were turned by that vampire turn into their real chronological age. Goody's stem is played by another icon, Sigourney Weaver. Goody, living up to her name, is one of the vampires that live solely off animals, primarily rats. Very colon-coded. Goody's best friend Stacy, played by my best friend Krysten, was turned in the 1990s.
Oh, look how cute she is.
Yes, she is. Goody acts as her mentor, helping her out with all the essentials like kneading soil from your hometown for your coffin, naturally, and controlling her hypnotic powers. Now, I'm not totally up to date on standard vampire lore, but is that one of them, hypnotic powers? That might be what it's eating rats for. This hometown soil thing has powers that I can't describe because the movie is incredibly vague. Without enough of her soil, Stacy's back starts hurting, which makes sense because it doesn't need to make sense. Back off. Goody, though she's Stacy's mentor, kind of, does not reveal to Stacy how old she really is. A running gag throughout the movie is that Goody will go on and on about New York through the ages.
Things keep changing around here. Well, in the 70s, it was a methadone clinic. And all the hippies would be sitting on the stairs waiting for their medicine. And in the 50s, it was a dance studio. And everyone came to the village to be beatniks. And before that, it was a German newspaper.
And Stacy will ask how she knows, and then she says, the History Channel.
How do you know this stuff? The History Channel.
Stacy isn't the brightest, but how could she be? She hasn't been in the sun in years. The girls go to college, as they have for the past 20 to 150 years, and when they leave for class, they race down the building in what is continually the biggest jump scare in the history of cinema. After classes, they work as nighttime exterminators. Well, yes. Whenever I think of vampires, I never think of them having jobs, but I guess we've reached such a stage in capitalism that even the undead need to participate. Another part of the lore is that their stem can summon them at any time.
53rd Street.
53rd Street and 6th Avenue, penthouse suite.
They walk through Times Square to get to their stem, and on the way, they pass a poster that stopped me in my tracks. A poster for Big Time Rush. Miss those girls bad. Did you know that one of them is now in an essential oil pyramid scheme with his wife, who is the star of Spy Kids? That lore is very important to me. Their stem, Miss Sigourney, puts her whole pussy into this role, being so campy and dramatic.
Pizza guy. Pizza guy.
Who ordered the double cheese and sausage?
You're late. They said 20 minutes or less. You kept me waiting, you bad boy.
Sorry.
Love her to death. Is she a bad person? Trick question. She's not a person. But if she was, yes. She's a vampire that loves to feed on humans. Can't get enough of it. She also loves high fashion and couture, so there's some positives, some negatives. Aren't we all imperfect? Since she can't see herself in the mirror, she summons them to try on clothes for her, just to picture how much better they look on her. She just let this clean. Stacy tells her that she doesn't like one of the jackets, and sorry, my love, but you were just wrong. Happens to the best of us. The girls go out on the town, and Goody picks up a drummer who, coked up, shares his entire life story with her, including how his parents don't get him. This man is at least 30, mind you. He refuses to be interrupted because he's so important and unique, of course, but his nose starts bleeding, and Goody can't help herself. If I had to see that, so do you. She tells this to Stacy, who is casually levitating in the streets. I do not understand the function of this. Doesn't seem much easier than walking, but anyway. Stacy says that they can bring this up at a meeting. They go to an Alcoholics Anonymous type meeting called Sanguines Anonymous, where they discuss their cravings. Good on them for doing the work. The next day, while the girls are deep in slumber, the pizza guy's body is found with all the blood sucked out of him. A Homeland Security agent, played by the adorable Wallace Shawn in a clueless reunion that everybody needed, scopes out the body. He plays Dr. Van Helsing, a reference to Dracula that I don't get because I'm cool and young. He hunts down vampires, which is a matter of Homeland Security, of course, and he will be back later. That night, when Stacy and the cast, the movie, without warning, shows a doctor slicing into an eyeball. My greatest fear. So incredibly icky. When Stacy rightfully oozes this, she meets Joey, her new love interest. He is the son of Dr. Van Helsing. What? I said he'd be back later. It was later. The son is casually British, which makes a lot of sense. These two voices...
Call this bled out, it's bone dry.
How many surrealists does it take to change a light bulb?
How many?
A bicycle.
One and the same. He is 25, but thinks Stacy is 17, yet still pursues her. Okay, Kodiko. He brings her back home to his parents' house, and they immediately clock her as a vampire. When Stacy asks him what they think of her, he reports back that they thought that she was very pale. Could have just lied and said that they liked her, but sure. So to combat this, when they invite her to dinner, she literally spray pants herself tan. And she looks, in the spirit of 2012, just like Snooki.
Hi. Wow, you look...
Robust?
Oddly, they still know she's a vampire.
I know him.
You know him?
I mean, I know who he is. It's Vlad Tepes.
It's pronounced Teepees. He was one of the most sadistic figures in history.
Well, I guess that sort of depends on your point of view.
Really? How many points of view can there be on the subject of impaling people and drinking their blood?
They do tests on her, like feeding her garlic, which she spits out. But in this movie's lore, vampires aren't afraid of garlic. She just personally doesn't like the taste. But he doesn't immediately kill her, so that's sweet. Also on the love interest front, Goody runs into her boyfriend from the 1960s.
Do it now! Hell no! We won't go! Hell no! We won't go!
And she tells him that she's her own daughter. She meets up with him, and they go to a record and video store, passing the sign that is famous to me and me only.
The best back rub.
Is it the best?
For men and women.
No, men and women. It's the best one for men. Nothing in between. Two genders. Not a statement, just what they have.
In the store, they're held up by a man with a gun, and Goody refuses the situation by using her super speed to disarm him, sucking the blood out of a man who got so scared he got a heart attack, and hypnotizing a fat man to stop liking junk food. That one's just uncalled for. She finally reveals to her ex, Danny, that she is a vampire. Around the same time, Stacy accidentally reveals to Joey that she's a vampire via crawling down the apartment building again. Both end up being surprisingly cool with this. I don't know how I'd react, but I don't think I'd be so sweet. Tolerant gangs. There's a lot going on in the vampire community that's trying to bring them out into the day. Van Helsing killed a vampire named Yvonne, breaking into his home and forcing him out of his coffin. Just rude. But other than being straight up decimated, some of them are being forced out by jury duty, some by audits. Stacy and Goody's goth human friend offers to help out because he's a CPA.
You just got some new clients.
Not me, I have a guy.
Danny offers to help out because he's a lawyer from the ACLU and vampires are, I guess, oppressed. There is very conveniently a total eclipse in 2 weeks where everything's dark for 2 hours. The vampires make a grand plan that during this time they will do all their tasks and get themselves scrubbed from all systems. How will this work? Hypnotism, I guess.
Jury duty obligations.
Unable to perform jury duty obligations.
In fact, I'll just delete them.
Just delete them.
Put the deleted names in the trash.
Deleted names in trash.
Empty the trash.
Empty the
Ask
trash.
the IT guy to remove the hard drive.
Again, I never told you this movie was good. This all works out perfectly, and it's almost like the conflict never happened. And there's no explanation about who had it out for them and was trying to get them out during the day. The storytelling in this movie is just next level. Sigourney then comes back to town and eats an entire Chinese restaurant worth of people. The girls decide they are done with her. The news comes out in the newspaper the next day that there's a vampire killer, so maybe the oppressed vampires aren't completely out of the woodwork yet. Or are they? Because this never comes up again. Then Stacy starts feeling sick in the mornings, and it turns out she is pregnant. Goody goes to Vlad Tepes, played so very cutely by Malcolm McDowell, and he does the only two things he knows how to do in the movie: provide exposition and knit. And he's all out of yarn. Kidding. He'd never be out of yarn. He says that the pregnancy will end by itself unless she turns into a human if Sigourney dies. Her character's name is Cicerus, by the way. Realize I've been calling her Sigourney the entire time. Stacey is ecstatic about the pregnancy and is devastated to learn that it'll end unless they kill Cicerus. Goody advocates for Stacey doing whatever she wants to do, knowing that if Cicerus dies, she'll revert to her real age and die too. Kinda you describe, I won't lie and say I didn't tear up. I will tear about just about anything, but still. They make a plan to kill Cicerus using the help of Dr. Van Helsing, but before doing so, Goody has a random side quest. This whole time, Danny's wife, nameless woman, has been sick and dying. Goody calls in her Ukrainian vampire friend,
Vadim, the Russian?
Ukrainian.
to turn her into a vampire. That scene is very intimate and disgusting. And I will not discuss it further, and you cannot make me. Back to the mission, they attack Cicerus with an arrow, and instead of running away, she joins them to fight inside this museum-type place. Interesting tactic. She chokes out Van Helsing, and then Joey comes up from behind and cuts her head off with a chainsaw. And of course, that is not enough to kill her. They need to also put her head in a coffin for a reason that is never explained, but I'm sure it's really good. Cicerus then commandeers a skeleton to escape the coffin.
In the forest, you're plugging things in.
Yes, like a hairdryer or a...
You think the glory of the calling of the Lord.
Come on! Come on!
He has trembled as the vintage where the bricks of wrath come out.
But is soon taken down again. The conflict in this movie comes up for like a few minutes and then is immediately resolved. I kind of love it. Stacey turns into her real age of 40, and Goody starts aging, but it's immediately clear that she lied about her age.
I should have known. Every time I turned on the History Channel, all I saw was stuff about Hitler.
They have this really heart-wrenching goodbye, and then Goody watches the night turn into the day in Times Square, picturing New York throughout the years, all her lovers, her babies, before turning into ash. Stacey then names her baby after Goody. Again, sobbing. Sure, this movie isn't the best, but I absolutely love it. It has the vibes, the camp, the fashion, the jokes, the heart. The fact that it's not a cult classic is a crime, and one that I feel like is my duty to help rectify. I do not understand why it flops so severely. Even worse than my last video, if that's even possible. I think that it's such a specific movie for such a specific audience that is exactly me and perhaps no one else, that they just had no idea how to market it. Or maybe people were just over vampires by 2012. I don't know how people could be over vampires. They're everlasting in many ways, but some people have no taste. Maybe it just flopped because people hate women and having fun. That's what I'm leaning towards. Please watch this movie soon as a favor to me and to yourself, and please like and subscribe. Pretty please? I would really like it. And I'd really like to see you again next time. Bye!